Man, I missed this guy. Haven't seen him since he got back from Europe, but luckily he's back here in the States celebrating America's birthday. Welcome to Shoulder Tap here with Mick. Mick, what's happening, my man? It's been a minute.
Hey, what up, Dre? Good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay. We got about half the day left here on kind of a holiday, Trey. We're talking in the green room. Our buddies are out on the lake. Are you in Lake Geneva? Or are you in Chicago? Where are you?
I'm in Lake Geneva right now. I'm actually looking out at the beautiful lake, envious of
Mm,
all my friends that are out on the water right now. I had to turn down I got 3 texts yesterday about going playing golf this morning, and I'm like,
mm.
I can't. I got to work. So my no offense, everybody, my heart's not here right now. It's a holiday. Yesterday, America's Independence Day, and with it falling on a Thursday, the feeling carries over to today, and we'll be into the weekend. So I think I'll get a little payback this weekend. Um,
Yeah.
Bring out my inner pyrotechnic and get into
Oh,
some explosions of some sort.
are fireworks legal up in Wisconsin? Can you purchase the good ones up in Wisconsin, like you can in
You can't
Indiana?
get shit here. Illinois,
Can't get shit.
Wisconsin, you got to go to Indiana. I mean, we used to have
Yeah.
some good stuff, but yeah, I don't even think you can get bottle rockets anymore. It's like smoke bombs and
Brutal.
sparklers, which is just total BS. I don't know if I should say it on TV, but we do have a little bit of a stash of some things that go boom
Private
pretty big.
stock.
I'll just say quarters and halves as
Ooh.
far as sticks go. So we got some good stuff.
Right, got the
I like going
TNT.
shooting. Yeah, close to it. I like going shooting a little bit too. And there's this wonderful exploding target that blows up upon impact of a high velocity round that's called tannerite. And when you combine um, many of those together, you can get something that's quite on par with C4. So we've
I
um,
like it.
we've done this all in
Uh,
a safe, controlled environment, but usually around this time of year, got a friend who's got a farm up here, and they always buy an old shitter car, and we drive the car out onto their personal shooting range at the
yep.
farm, and we blow up a car every year. Um,
Incredible.
so
That's
yeah,
America
that's
for you,
fun.
folks. That is America in
America.
a nutshell. Hell yes. Hell yes. All right, Mick, let's get back to these markets. We made new all-time highs today. We made new all-time highs on Wednesday. That kept going into today on this Friday after July 5th, or this July 5th Friday, I should say. New all-time highs. So I'd like to ask you, what are we seeing here on the board at tops? Are we seeing more green from our chairs or more red from our chairs? Just give us a general idea of what the risk team's looking at overall.
Yeah, it's a green week, and you got to remember
Nice.
too that the CME protocol around these is with the shortened trading hours. So yes, excuse me, Wednesday was a short day. Markets closed early. They made Wednesday its own trade date, but then yesterday, actually, a lot of the trading activity yesterday because of CME protocol that carries over until today's trading activity. So for depending on the data provider you're with, the platform you're trading on, a lot of the activity from yesterday actually there was no Thursday trade date, and it counts as a Friday trade date. So all in all, we're pretty good here. I've seen some of the big account balances, get shaken out a little bit over the last few days on both the live and the XFA side of things. And we had a live trader. Was it Lynn? No, excuse me. Yeah, Lynn's his last name. He was up $14,000 earlier, trading big size today, and I've watched him go from up 14,000 to down 3,000 daily loss limit. So $17,000 swing there. Not too happy about that. That's what happened. I mean, you mentioned that we're doing new all time highs. We've got the holiday creeper mode
Reaper.
going up, which is nice, but this is not the time and place to be trading 10s and 15s. And if you are, you got to be quick to cut those things early. $17,000 swing to end your week is not what you want to do when you're having a really, really good Friday. Um,
Ideal. Shut it
so I
down.
would
Shut it
I would
down.
encourage
Yep.
I would encourage them to stay away from the explosives or the pyrotechnics this week.
I like how you
Yeah,
tied
you
that in
already blew
together.
up today. That's enough blowing up. But we do have some other notable people. We've got Itor. He's up 12,400. Jayton up 3,600. Shao 2,300. Rips is in his live account today. Haven't seen
Yeah.
much out of him in his live account lately. He's up 2K. Um, Nick for a tick, Nick Camarello, he's up 2,500. And, and all in all, let me see if we got any more updates on the live boards here today.
I like that.
I think I mentioned Shao up
Yep.
2,200. Excuse me. Yeah, I would say that, there's actually a lot more activity than we saw yesterday, today, but all in all, it's been a good week. We called up a lot of people this week. I don't have the exact number. I was,
What
doing
is it?
everything
What is it,
before
general? A
this,
lot of
but
people. So what is a lot of people? More than 30, less than 30. What's in general? What would be a
we're
lot of
over
people?
we're over 30. I mean, darn, Andre, I think we called up like 20 something people just on Wednesday alone. So yeah, we're
Incredible.
at a high number on the week. I guess I could take a moment to pause here and
Yeah,
look
while
at
you
one of
do
my
that,
spreadsheets.
I know
Want an
while you do that,
exact
I'll fill for you real quick. While we do that, yeah, we just a general delta. We're looking for how many people are calling up and how many people are getting onboarding, offboarding, if you will, from the live funnel race. I know there's always a delta. Typically, it's always positive. I imagine bringing people up to the big leagues and people going back down to the minors, so to speak. Well, Mick looks at that. Let's do a
Yeah,
quick
I think
recap
we've
here on the market. Go ahead, Mick.
I was just going to say, I think there's only been 1 week, which was a total anomaly, where we actually had closed more live accounts than people we brought up. Usually,
Yeah,
we're at a net add to the prop firm, which is where we want to be, calling up good live traders.
good to know. Good to know. All right, cool. All right, well, markets are in a range right now. Looking at the 5 minute. We're not missing much in the markets. Gold kind of creeping up to that 2,400 even level, currently trading 23.96. So, Mick, you want to get into some cards or what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do the cards, Andre. I'd love to start with
Cool.
Soren. Soren's a guy. Let's get his card queued up. Someone we called up
Soren
from
K.
XFA to live. Soren K. Yeah, trading out of Valencia, California. Knocking it out of the park. 100% winning days. I think his, on the trading cards, we do best day kind of thing. And if you don't have a losing day, we can't really say that you've had a worst day. But his worst day was a positive $25 day. So that's kind of fun to mention there. But
Look at
he's been
this.
killing it. 13 short days in the XFA before getting called up. His best day, $16,300. And not only was that just, one big winning day, but there's also some other notable days. He had a $2,700 winning day, $10,500 winning day, and then a $1,600 winning day. So all really good stuff here. A couple things I really like about this one. You look at the risk reward there. I've never had a
Yeah.
card, Andre. We've never had a card that's
10
10
to
to 1
1.
risk reward. On a
What
per
is going
contract
on?
basis, well, let's talk about it. You can look at the trade
Yeah.
report and find out for yourself, but I will spill the beans. Really,
Wow.
really good risk reward, 10 to 1, $243 per contract he's making while only risking 24. I don't know how that happens, but
That's
he's
beautiful.
obviously finding, yeah, beautiful trade location is what I see when I take a look at that card. And then he's averaging 19 trades a day. Scaling in using one lots. So this is something we talk about, Andre. I've talked about with Jack when I do this with
This
him.
is
Is
your
like
dream.
this is
Yeah.
someone who, yeah, they add to it as it's working. He will have a position with 10 to 15 contracts on, mostly 10, but he's scaling in as it's working. So he presses, as I say down here at the bottom, presses when it's working. Very quick to cut any losing trade, which is awesome. But you know, it's kind of an art form to add
Yeah.
to winning positions when it's working. I always say, for a lot of traders that we see, Andre, there's a lot of people that put up big numbers, but then they also have the daily loss limits that are hit regularly. Usually you see that when it's someone who's all in, all out. I always, for those people that struggle with, low winning day percentages, they're hitting their daily loss limit a lot. My biggest, bit of advice for those people is don't go all in, all out. Scale in. The nice thing about
Yeah.
scaling in, if you're trying to amass a large position, is if it starts going against you initially, you've got a small position on. If it starts going in your favor, you can start, pecking at the market, adding to that winning trade. And that's exactly what Soren's doing. And it's allowed him to be extremely profitable. He's taken over 25,000 in payouts in those short 13 days that he was trading in the XFA before getting called up to live. And all in all, this is just really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
The time to
Un-
go along with the nice risk reward too. The time in trades is really nice too. Let me see. He's spending 19 minutes on average in those winning trades and only 6 minutes on the losing trades. So this
this
is a
is
guy who's cutting his losses quickly, impatient with the losers, and then patient with the winners. And he's granted he is trading on a short time frame. He knows what he's doing on that short time frame.
Mick, this is one of the best cards I can remember seeing. This is a formula that's going to last. I don't know. I mean, you've looked at thousands of these, but this is
Yeah, I have.
sustainable. I would think this isn't just a one hit wonder here. This is sustainable. Risk reward
It's
10 to
really
1. Obviously,
sustainable.
this is this can last. Has anyone talked to Soren at all, or is we just kind of let him do his thing, get out of his way?
I haven't spoken with Soren
That's
myself
fine.
personally. Doesn't mean the rest
Okay.
of the risk team hasn't. We've been pretty tied up over the last.
Oh yeah, you
Shit,
have.
we've been busy for a while. We're pretty
You
tied up.
have. I know it.
We haven't spoken to Soren. We tend to,
All good.
I'll be upfront. I mean, Andre, we tend to speak with really only our live traders. I mean, our live
Gotcha.
traders are the one that have direct access to the risk line. We have so many people in sim accounts in our
That's true.
program, so many people in XFAs in our program. The risk lines really, we're trying to reserve it for people in the live accounts.
Makes
You know
sense.
what? A big thing about these people in the XFAs, you know, we want to be calling up the best traders to the live account. We look at that from a
Yep.
performance standpoint. You know, with we want to see what they can do with a hands-off approach. If you're going to be doing well with hands-off, and you don't have risk managers calling you to check in about locking in winning trades, profits, and then slowing the bleeding. I mean that this is kind of, I wouldn't say it's a tryout, but in a way it is.
It is. Yeah.
It's a tryout for the live account. We um, we do give most of our time and attention to people in the live accounts with the real money. Granted, XFAs, we all know you can take payouts from that, but that's kind of, it's a period of time and it's a funded level of trading where, show us what you got. And then, if
I
you
love
got
this
it
card.
and you're not needing assistance, we'll be there to give you the assistance when you need it in a live account. And I'm not, embarrassed to say that. It is what it is. It's our program.
That's how it should be, I think. I would say this card is very, very impressive. Soren, this is one to remember. If you guys want to model your game after someone, this is it. This is just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, get out
Yeah,
of the way and let them cook. Let them get.
it
I'm
is.
looking for any rooms for improvement. And I mean, all one lots, average scaling in with one lots. They're not just barreling in with 5 and 10s and 15s. This is very, very good to see.
You're
All right,
not going
Mick.
to
Yeah, this
you're not going to find areas for improvement. So, Andre, I'm kind of curious. Like when we're looking at a card this good, I kind of spoke my piece here on the trade report and what I thought was probably one of the best things, and that's pressing when the market's going in Soren's favor and adding to the winning positions. Is there anything that you can unpack here on this trade report that you would say is like a really good strong point, or
risk reward.
habit in his trading activity
The,
that's getting him called up to
the
live?
risk reward. The risk reward is going to keep them alive for
Yeah,
a long time. I mean, say that risk reward gets cut in half. Say it decreases by half. You're still going to be alive and well. I mean, they are that risk reward is what sticks out. I mean, that's just 10 to 1. Yeah, I mean, say
hundred
if it gets
percent.
down to 2 to 1. If it gets down to 2 to 1, you're still in the game. So, I mean,
Still
this
in the
is
game in a big way, and even if
yeah,
you cut it in half and it was 5 to 1, it's freaking stellar,
huge,
stellar risk,
huge, huge. Now, here's my question:
stellar risk.
What when you see their system adding with one last, would anyone on risk suggest to them in any way, shape, or form, maybe want to think about increasing your size at all? Would you obviously that thought would come into our heads from the top step from the firm side, but when you see something like this working so well, would I know we think about it to that side, but would you suggest that to them in any way? Maybe increase your size,
You know,
or would that could you? I don't know. What do you
it,
think? What do you think about that?
it's a good question. I would have to have a conversation with the trader and talk to them about their goals, long term, short term, medium term, that kind of thing. I can't give. There might be something there. They also might be trading in their comfort zone.
There you go.
But I mean, you got to go back to the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We'll
And there
fix
ain't
it. Yeah.
anything broke here. I mean, 13 days, they brought the account up to 34,500. They've got 100% winning days. They got a great risk reward. Their worst day, which is not even a bad day, was $25. It was a $25 winning day. I mean, I really quickly speaking of that, no, I don't have anything in regards to that. That
No.
that one that one day that they made $25, one trade, it looks like they they held that trade. It was a one lot in the Nasdaq. They held it for an hour and 40 minutes. So they must have done that thing, like the infomercials, set it and forget it. They probably put
Yeah,
something on. They had an idea, a directional bias where they thought the market could go to. They probably put a stop at, 5 ticks, 1.25 points break even, and walked away from the computer and then got stopped out. But no
incredible.
doubt that trade was in their favor for a while. I don't have anything from Soren.
Nothing. Yeah, I'm just gonna admire this one. We can keep it moving here. We got a couple more to get to, but this is about as good as it gets, as I see.
It
All right,
is.
let's
It
keep it
is.
moving. What do we got next here, Mick?
Let's move it. Can we get the trading card for Evan if we could, please?
Evan F. out of Sarasota, Florida. Mick, talk to us about Evan F.
Sarasota. Yeah, I've got one of my aunts. She lives down there, well, part time now, and she's always asking me
And
to
two.
come
Give a
down.
shout out to your aunt. Which aunt is it?
Yeah, shout out to Aunt Beth, former
Aunt
Chicago PD
Beth.
too. Former
Oh, very
Chicago
good.
PD. She's a hard ass. Um,
Don't
so
cross
Evan
Aunt
trading
Beth.
out of Yeah, Aunt Beth. Average daily P&L. Now he's in an XFA. He's still in an XFA. We haven't called him up, but we got our eye on him, which is why I wanted to talk about his
Huh?
performance a little bit. Um, I'll get into why we still have him in an XFA right now, despite everything on this trading card looking very, very pretty. 94% winning days. This is over the course of 16 days in this XFA. 53% winning trades. And there's nothing wrong with the 53% winning trades. Andre mentioned a 2-to-1 risk reward on the last card when we were talking about Soren. If you have a 2-to-1 risk reward, you can be wildly profitable, only being right half the time. And they are right more than half the time. They've got better than a 2-to-1 risk reward, slightly better, slightly better. It's on a per contract basis, average winning trades $450. They're only risking 190 on those losing trades, taking 8 trades a day, 1 to 3 lots. Best day here, for which is I like this a lot. On
Mhm.
150K, best day is $3,200. The worst day, 1,610. So just because they've got that $3,000 daily loss limit does not mean they're going up against it. They cut it short quickly. They did only have one losing day so far out of these 16 days in XFA. So anything
Works.
could happen there, but I always like a trader who ends it, halfway, risking half of what they are allowed to risk. If I could give like one bit of information for anybody who's struggling with their trading,
Yep.
if you're struggling, you're seeing a lot of downside as opposed to upside, as far as winning days and stuff go. And if you're struggling, managing that downside is the single greatest thing you could do for yourself. Don't risk too much. Don't risk too much. Don't risk too much. Limit your losses. If you're struggling,
Agree.
limit your losses. The one losing day we've seen from Evan, he's doing that. Um, there's a lot of good stuff here. Andre, you look at the trading card or the trade
Yeah.
report or the trading card, 10,000 in payouts over 16 trading days. I think
Beautiful.
that was a total of 3 payouts. So they're paying themselves regularly every 5 days, which they've had 15 winning days and only one losing day. Every time they're eligible for a payout, they're taking a payout. And I like that. With that, we always got to consider our account balance maintenance and how much we're keeping, how much cushion we're keeping in the account, because just because you can take 50% out doesn't mean that you should be doing that every single time.
Correct.
um, but all in all, really good stuff here. I gotta say that one of the reasons why this trader is still in XFA and hasn't gotten called up to live, the XFA that we're looking at in particular here is really good. They've been with us for a while, back since September of 2021. I look at all the other trade reports, and I see a lot of resets here. Now,
Yeah.
granted, everything's going really well here, but people ask about this. What does the risk team look at when it comes to calling people
Hmm.
up live from XFA? There is no stone that's left unturned. Um, and when I see someone who's doing really well right now, very happy for them. Obviously, they're paying themselves and taking money out of the markets with the 10,000 in payouts. But I look at all the trading combines they've been through, and there have been a lot of resets. There were
Yeah.
also XFAs, Andre, that lasted 2 trading days. So I look at the previous history too, and try and make it a best informed decision. And we're not always right, but we're pretty good. Uh,
Question,
Try and
Mick.
make the best informed decision. Yeah,
Buckle down. What do you mean by buckle down? Less resets? What does buckle down mean? Buckle down, start focusing
it,
more, get yourself to live. What do you when you
it's a
say buckle down?
number of things. So buckle down is really the resets. I want them to buckle
Gotcha.
down on this account. Everything's going well. I don't want to see them do what they've done in trading combines, what they've done in previous XFAs, which is daily loss limit. I just mentioned a couple XFAs that they've been in before, have lasted 2 short trading days. That means that they're hitting a daily loss limit and then they're hitting the max loss limit the following day. That is something that we don't want to see in a live account. So we want to see them continue to do
Mm,
this, what they're doing right now in this XFA, in the XFA, and I want them to buckle down and I don't want old stuff. I wouldn't call it old
all right.
habits, but stuff that we've seen in the past get brought into this trading account right now.
All right, Evan. Evan, you heard it. Buckle down, chill on the resets. Don't use them as a
Yeah,
crutch, but
chill
they
on
are
the
there for your
resets.
hub. All right, real quick, we got new all-time highs here in the S&Ps, 56.14 quarter last trade. Also, crude making new lows, bottoming out at $83.59. Nasdaq hasn't quite got to new all-time highs, about 7 points off of that. But again, S&P is making new all-time highs here during shoulder tap. All right, Mick, we got about 5 minutes left. We want to kick it over to our final card. We can do that and get you out of here and get you onto that lake. Get on that lake, Mick. Come on.
Still some more time to be spent at work, but I will be there. I guarantee it.
Yes, you will. Is
All right,
Hodgman out?
let's
Is
pull up
Hodgman out
Jerry's
there?
card.
Is Hodgman out there too?
No, I think Hodgman was up here. He ended up going back to Chicago though because him and
Girlfriend.
his
Girlfriend.
special girlfriend.
Yes.
I've had him out on the boat in Chicago. She's really nice, ton of fun. We were out there. They
Ooh,
came out, joined my family when my dad and his wife were down from Wisconsin. I think they're out on the lake, Lake Michigan today, as a matter of fact. Great day
wow.
for it. Um, Maybe I'll have lunch with his parents again though, because I ran into them at the golf club a couple weeks ago, and sat down and had lunch with them before I went out and played around. Um,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Not planned, just impromptu, which was kind of nice.
Those are
But
always some of the
let's
best
get
times.
Jerry.
Let's Jerry P.
Yeah, they
Jerry
are. They
P.
are. Let's get Jerry's card up. All right. So we got Jerry out of Tallahassee.
Ooh.
Got a couple Floridians here today. And then Jerry, he's someone that we called up from XFA to live. He had 24 days in his live account, excuse me, his XFA before getting called up to live. And this is another one I think you'll like a lot, Andre, because Jerry is someone who's, kind of hitting singles. They're trading
Hmm.
NASDAQ, and normally I don't mention the MNQ here, but they're actually trading a little bit more MNQ than they are the NQ. Um, it's working out well for him. Predominantly MNQ, which is the micro NASDAQ. And normally I just keep the micros out of these trading cards. The leverage is so small there. But it's kind of interesting. Jerry's trading the MNQ, but he's trading size in the MNQ. He's doing a lot of 10 lots in the MNQ. And I got to say, Jerry, if you're trading 10s in the MNQ, just go trade one in the NASDAQ because
Beautiful.
while the price of trading one micro is lower than trading one E-mini, if you're doing the 10 to 1, making those fungible and, scaling them because 10 micros is equal to one mini, the cost of the transaction on the one mini is far lower than that of doing 10 MNQ, the micros. Um, but hey, really good stuff here. 67% winning days, 60% winning trades.
Yep.
Average winning day $900, average losing day 530. So we've got the average winner, which is almost double than the average losing day. I always like to see that. Nobody's got any business risking more on their losing days than they make on average on their winning days. So everything good here. Um, 2 trades a day, Andre. Very, very selective with what they're doing.
Love it.
I find it's for myself, there were times when
Yeah. I know
I'd
where you're going with
look
this.
at my trading performance and say I'd be struggling a little bit. And you look at what you're doing, and for me, a majority of the time I was over trading.
Yep.
And when you're struggling and you're over trading, that's when it's like you got to say, okay, I'm going to give myself 1 or 3 trades per day. And usually that's the medicine at least I needed, and I know a lot of traders need to just kind of get back to being profitable. It's if you're taking a lot of trades and you're struggling, and then you go and you limit how many trades you can take, you're going to be
Yep.
very selective with the trades, and you're going to be ensuring that you take only the best trades. I hear a lot of traders say, oh, it was a B setup, it was a C setup. That's bullshit. Nobody should be taking B and C setups. We need to take grade A, 3 stars, triple stars.
Yes,
Let the
sir.
stars align, and those are the
Bullshit.
setups we need to be taking. I remember getting my dad was in the business, and when I started trading, I remember I was working out of his office, and he was asking me why I did something, and I was like, I was just taking a shot, and I got cracked in the back of the
Ooh.
head.
Ooh,
He's like,
yeah.
you don't take shots. He's like, you have reasons for doing what you do. He's like, you're assuming somebody else's risk. You don't take shots. So
100%.
I don't know if it was from that day forward or I was a young cocky kid, and well, he obviously knew a lot more than
Yeah.
I did, but he's like, "No shots," and after that, he's like "You should have a really good explanation for why you're doing everything that you're doing."
It's
And,
true.
like, "Yeah, whatever, dad. Yeah, whatever." And,
Who was right?
and
Who was right though, Mick?
finally, I was
He
humble.
was
Yeah, he
Yep.
is right. Yeah, I was humble enough to
Yep.
be like, "Yeah, he might know a thing or 2 more than me." And, so I always try and do that for myself, and not only have, like, one bias or reason for taking a trade, but I also like to use the phrase, like, "Let the stars align." Yeah, I see
Yep.
this, and I see this, and it backs up my directional bias. So if I get a couple stars aligning, then it's full tilt boogie. We put the risk on and profit.
Full tilt boogie. On that note, Mick, thank you so much for that shoulder tap. Full tilt boogie, as you heard it here on Shoulder Tap on Top Step TV. Mick, happy 4th of July. Enjoy your weekend. A couple more hours. Market's going to be closed. Mick, thank you for everything on Shoulder Tap. We got group coaching coming up next with Dolby Time and David Green from yes, the Academy. Where's Wilson Academy? Check in now for group coaching coming up next.